Ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
And I'm Rangru. Hello, hello, hello.
It's a new week, guys, which means it's time for more Steel Division League. This comes to us from the American Division on the lovely hedgerow hell of Omaha. Now, Rang, who do we have today?
Well, on the left-hand side in blue, we have Herr Robert as the 15th Scottish Infantry Division, and on the right-hand side we have Metallic as the Trove SS Division.
So 12th SS and the Scots. How's this going to match on up? I think I see Cromwell on both sides, don't I? Oh, I did.
Yeah,
I keep pulled it right back off.
Yeah, we got the Boy de Cromwell from Metallic, and I'm not seeing anything from her. Maybe be bringing up an Avra early on, because that'd be a good choice.
That is true.
Both, pretty solid divisions. I mean, 15 Scotch, standard infantry division, and Trove SS are a pretty standard tank division. Nothing really too crazy. It's going to be interesting to really see what happens down in that town, because, usually the town's on the northern side when they usually cast this map.
True.
But real Metallic rush into it, really not. It doesn't seem to be the case. Just getting some infantry and artillery. But I'm thinking I'm not going to be seeing anything too crazy off the bat, to be honest. Maybe just a bit more conservative play from both sides.
And that's definitely the way to put it. If you look at the opening positions here, we do see the Germans are trying to take that, let's say, south-central crossroads here, and the Americans are definitely moving on in with, Marauders and a couple of squads of infantry?
Yeah. I just got some Piat dudes.
Oh my, yeah. What am I thinking? I was thinking Marauders, no, this is not the second infantry.
Division, so you're like 50% correct.
Oh my gosh, really? You're gonna start that cast like this now? Okay, that's cool. Okay, we'll get there.
Yeah.
No, but you're absolutely right. There's no Cromwell. I guess he had it there initially when the things are getting set up, and I think just when we started, he decided to pull it right back out. Pack 38 is going to get set up in the north, though, and that will do a fair amount of damage if the Scotch are not careful.
Yeah, but neither side's really going to be rushing in. I mean, really, only real piece of armor is that Boy de Cromwell. Got like a few light vehicles here now, including the 222. But just more of this infantry play from the Scotch, which makes sense. And Metallic just taking his time, really.
No, one thing I'm actually kind of surprised about to see already is that we have this big smoke cloud being tossed on out.
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but I'm a little confused by how aggressive he's been with that.
I think he's just using it to block any anti-tank guns from potentially, side shotting his 222.
That's a good point.
But, yeah, it definitely is a bit odd. You don't see it, and it wasn't even that good of a smoke cloud, because still kind of see out the town, but
the universal carrier did go down. It's putting a little bit of fire, and when you go one machine gun against autocannons, it's not going to go very well for you.
Yeah, we do have a little bit of experience with the 222 and Panzer 2. Will the Panzer 2 be able to knock out 600 in time? I know it doesn't have that veteran. No. Oh, Spitfire coming in, gonna save the day, but 6-pounder is gonna die just in time. But that's a pretty good trade for Metallic, because Scots don't get a lot of AT guns early on, so every one that he can knock out is pretty damn useful.
That's true, and he definitely has one of those up to the north as well. I think he's trying to get a cheeky surrender, but that's a leader unit right there, so...
Yep, and you already got Panzerfaust on play, and he smoked his own dude by accident. I think that's an accident. Because he's trying to, gets Panzerfaust, and good kill. And really, his low armor play is gonna do wonders for Metallic. Panzer 2s, 222s, great in CQC, and the Scots don't really have much in terms of close range AT. It's really down to your 6-pounders and maybe a Stuart.
Now, picking up the Spitfire so early, is this just a suppression play, or is this actually going to be achieving some sort of tactical goal?
Well, it did do a good job of stunning up Panzer 2. Couldn't get a surrender,
True.
But that early bomber Spitfire is a really lovely unit, because as you're sure, it can blow the shit out of something, then continue just strafing. And in an A phase, especially against Trove SS early on, not much AA or airplanes you have to deal with, period.
That is certainly true. I guess for me, I'm trying to think about the long-term utility of it. We're getting an early Verbal-Wind. Wow, that is super early.
I do love seeing that early Verbal-Wind. Such a useful unit, because it can scare off those Spitfires, and, for 20 mils is rather scary.
Well, and absolutely nothing else. It definitely is good to be turning down a lot of this infantry. Now, again, wow, that Spitfire's already gotten reloaded. I feel like he's had to have gotten a second one there.
Run. That's a second. That has to be a second run. That's a lot of money spent on airplanes.
Yeah.
That's 300 points, which is, that's a good 3-4 minutes of saving from Herr Robert. And airplanes are great, they're useful, but they don't really have ground presence. And as we're seeing, Robert could really use some ground presence at the moment.
That is certainly true. I was going to make the same comment myself. You just kind of took the words right out of my mouth there. He is holding strong down in that town, and he's ever so slowly moving some infantry up to maybe begin to pinch this out here. But is that Stuart going to be enough? He's calling it a Stuart finally.
Well, Stuart is a pretty good counter against that Panzer II, but it is the Pak-38, yeah, as well. And with no real recon or much really spotting in the rail, just, other units apart from the Stuart in this breakthrough, I don't think it's going to go too well here for Robert.
No, yeah, I actually have to agree with you. I'd say even more so that that tree line is a great thing. And honestly, ooh, here's interesting. If you look where the Pak-38 is set up and you look at the intended path for the Honey Stewart, oh, okay. Originally, he had it moving north along that tree line that you see just there now.
Oh, yeah, I see.
That would have been actually brilliant because that Pak-38 cannot see anything. But now, given the positioning of the Stewart, he's begging to be shot.
And shot he shall be.
Oof.
But, of course, it misses first shot.
But you know what? Keeping him scared, if he's running scared, I still think that's a pretty good victory right there.
Yeah. Just keep it back and look at this. Metallic has such good just ground positioning. Even though he's not on the, the plus run, which is quite surprising because he is completely neglected up north. That's pretty easy to plug in with just like a Panzergrenade squad. And having this position of his forces is going to be huge because it allows them to attack up north. Into the town where the Piat and Rifle Squad is, down south into the town too. It's such a pivotal area to hold. And it's great because he can use vehicles here, and you kind of want to be using vehicles as a tank division.
Alright, two things. One is we have a Storch coming on in, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, A-Phase recon plane is probably going to get shot down by the Spitfires, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, I always like seeing recon planes being used. I never really use them myself, honestly, but it can be pretty useful.
That is certainly true. Now, quick side note, we're going to see a Churchill coming on, and that 2-inch carrier to the north, usually, I know we kind of deride that as being kind of, well, crap. Is this a situation where it actually does some good?
Yeah, it has short range, but, there's a lot of tree lines that allows it to sneak up close, and it can knock out a Panzergrenade squad, knock out a Pak-38, and that thing shoots like a machine gun, so it's gonna do a pretty good job, I'd have to say. If he moves up his infantry in front, that thing's just gonna be able to pin down anything that comes by.
Seems about right. I think the Panzer II finally went down to the bombing runs there, but or was it actually the Stuart? No, Stuart finally took a shot and then backed off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But you got the Pak-38 being spotted, by Robert, so it's probably going to get bombed out or something along those lines rather soon. The Churchill Mark V is a lovely counter as it can outrange the Pak-38, but in its current positioning, it's going to be right in its clutches.
It sounds like it makes sense there. We are going to see a very, very concerted push up to the north, a couple more squads being brought on in. And there's not a lot of Germans there to kind of keep them stopgapped. We're seeing a couple more being rushed on in. Ooh, no, Befehle Panzer II and Pigrens, but...
Nothing too crazy, but it just needs to keep it plugged in for now. It does not want out, losing a whole northern side. But that's kind of the risk. He's played very heavily in the middle, and because of that, he couldn't really afford, especially with only 70 points a tick, to defend his northern side as well. And with, 2-inch carrier on playing his rifle squad, it's absolutely decimating those Panzergrenades.
That is true, but while...
or the bombing run, that's gonna really...
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I wouldn't have moved up the Pak-38 yet, bud. Oof.
Okay, then. Well, let's see if that Spitfire gets sent away with some smoke. The other one definitely did.
Even the Storch providing some cover and fire for its lone machine gun.
Certainly true. And okay, so P2, that little combat crew coming up to the north, is this enough to stop this thrust?
If 6-pounder doesn't get in position, then yeah, but 6-pounder is probably going to get into position, and it has 2-star veterancy, which isn't fun.
Certainly true.
Look at it, it's in the perfect spot.
And the driver's wounded.
And they're right next to each other, so they're gonna share morale damage.
Yes, they
come on,
are.
unload. There we go.
Nevertheless, though, we are very, very close to a 58% map control, and Metallic is certainly up almost 500 tickets already, so that cannot be discounted.
That's pretty good, especially considering, you know, early on Trophy S.
Yes, exactly.
And, yeah, he's been very aggressive. He still holds his middle part of the map here. He's starting to get pushed back. And B-Phase is really going to be quite interesting as both divisions are very aggressive, very effective B-Phase style divisions. Robert can really get in more tanks and proper equipment, really. And Metallic, are we going to see Rickman? Are we not? Who knows? Probably.
Well, if we do see Whitman, of course, we have to make the age-old bet. Is it going to be a quick kill, or will he linger like a muskrat underneath the porch?
If we see him, I think it's going to be a quick kill on this map. That's my bet thrown in.
No, unfortunately, I wish I could bet against you on that one, but that seems like a sucker bet.
Yeah.
Now in the meantime, okay, 2-inch carrier to the south, excuse me, right, try this again. 257 is just kind of chilling, Aufklärer as well. I would have liked to see part of Herr Robert's troops here from this town in the south begin to drive to the north. He's got to know there's not a whole lot in that bulge.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't have any recon, to be fair, and, you know, if there was, like, even if that 250 was just like a 251 half track, it'd stop that entire force, as, you know, rifles can't really do too much in the open against German mechanized vehicles. Oh, speaking of mechanized vehicles, look up north from Metallic.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, if he could barrel him down that road, I mean, it's probably going to get shot by a 6-pounder, to be honest, but I just want to see it just burn the road on fire, set it on fire.
Oh, yes, he doesn't want to set the world on fire, he just wants to light a little spark in your heart there.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that 2-inch carrier is just barraging to the north, and everything in their mother is pinned down. So, I'm not going to say rush the Aufklärer on forward, but, you know, getting close, uses MP40s.
Yeah, but also, you know, because Metallic's position in the middle, he's slowly making his way up north, and he's almost cut off that northern assault there from Herr Robert. I mean, he's got that half track that could just rush into position and get behind that entire area, so I think we're going to see a bit of a collapse up north here from Robert.
I would agree with you, though, if not for that Churchill 4 coming in from the west.
Good point. Yeah, it's going to be
absolutely devastating. Oh my gosh, okay, the 2-inch carrier is smoking things off. It's going to make it easier for the Flampanzers to actually approach.
Oh, right. But he's not rushing down to the Flampanzers.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
But we are Werfen some Panzers to the north, and so we're getting lots of Panzers. So Flampanzers, we have Werfen Panzers. It'd be tons of fun.
Yeah. I'm really quite surprised that Herr Robert even decided to bring a Churchill Mark IV, because it only has the 6-pounder, has no HE value. I'd never really recommend getting any like lower tier Churchills in your tank tab. Just it's Mark 7 or bust in the tank tab in my book. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be good against vehicles, but it can't provide that lovely infantry fire support.
Well, that lovely infantry fire support looks like it's going to be brought by the Churchill OP.
Oh yeah.
So 140 is not the greatest, let's say, diameter shellage.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
But at the same time, it still is a very, very viable, let's say, cornerstone.
Yep. And all the Flampanzer is on the Ray.
Oh, one's gone down already. Oh no! Wow, they're stacked so much on top of each other. It's not even funny.
Yep. I know. There we go.
Oof.
And there, that's pretty much the Scots burnt to a crisp. That smoke really did them wonders, yeah. That's hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wehrmacht roast.
When life gives you smoke, you might as well just try to go through it and see what's on the other side. That's what Dark Souls taught me, anyway.
That is definitely true, but you know what? I also do like a nice, let's say, woodsy Scotch. So, and I think Metallica is all about trying to provide that for me. So I definitely appreciate it.
Oh yeah, I can smell it through the screen.
Yes, yeah. So in the meantime, Panzerwerfer starts to barrage the road. I hadn't considered if we see a quick rush in, we could just see a surrender of this entire thing.
Yeah, right. His thing go now, so probably going to be a bit tougher. And Spitfire dropping in some bombs. Oh,
yeah, he's going for the infantry.
Yeah. Could he get that Churchill? I mean, the Flampanzers can burn it.
Stupidly gutsy 222 and
No, the dingoes, yeah. The dingoes, yeah.
Oh my gosh, be so close to the dingo.
I
Shoot the
ran
dingo,
through-
my friend. Oh, there we go. Oh, jeez.
That's how you do it. Yeah, it's lovely. Absolutely lovely.
So we have missed the fact that the Germans have lost a good amount of their positioning over here in the center part of the map.
Yeah.
Consequence of the 140s and all this extra, let's say, flame troops coming on in.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, though, man, oh man.
That was a really good breakthrough up north. Even though he's lost center, he's gained a lovely area up north now, and he's Flampanzer half tracks. There's nothing to stop him. We've got some flame troops in that town, but the Flampanzer is going to show him the true meaning of flame on.
That sounds about right. No, listen, not even flame troops. They're assault pioneers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, but if they get those charges out.
No, not a chance now. And there's no AT really here from the Scots at all. Oh wow, one of the charges
See?
actually goes to Flampanzer. Huh. That's really. I was not expecting that.
And the Flampanzer's moving way on down to the south. In the meantime, though, we're going to see another barrage. Not from that, but we actually from the OP though.
Yep.
And geez, I would not have called the map going this way, at least at this point in time.
Yeah. I'm just looking at it. We got a Panzer IV in the middle now, trying to shore things up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still pretty back and forth. Metallic does have the momentum and the points lead, but still quite a bit. But Herr Roberts, he's throwing some punches now. He's trying to get back in the game, and he's doing a great job with his Spitfire bombing runs.
That certainly is true, but while that is definitely happening, we're seeing another Churchill 4 being brought on in.
Yeah.
A curious one, considering the points you raised already, but...
I just don't really like that tank.
Is that a Pack 40 coming on in? SD up to the northern road, up at the Panzerwerfer.
Probably a Pack 40.
As I say, it's not the huge mother load, so we know it's definitely not one of those Flak 88s, but a Pack 40 at the same time is still terrifying.
Yeah, it's still a bit of an odd choice, considering a whole northern sector is in Pack 40 territory in my book. It's much better maybe just get a Panzer 4, but yeah, whatever. But Robert is starting to do a bit of a counter push here. The Panzergrens are going to try and hold, but they're very heavily morale damaged, so we might see a surrender.
I don't know about that. I mean, the Pack 40 I think has the HE, which allows them to kind of get that little bit of protection. And 2 Verbovins being brought on in. One to the super... No, 2 of them both to the super north. That's strange.
That is. Yeah, that's definitely a lot of points. I'm guessing that's not just for EA, but for infantry support too. And this is very interesting, because Metallic's been pretty light on the proper armor. All he's got as his only real tank is his Panzer IV in middle.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else. I mean, he doesn't really need to, because he's been doing pretty good so far just using vehicle play, but especially more of these Scots tanks such as the Stuart and Churchill has been brought on the field, you kind of think you want to get, some more at least some Panzer IVs at least.
That seems about right. Now, another set of assault engineers, coming center part of the map, and the bulge continues to flatten on out, so that dieting is certainly working for Herr Robert.
Yeah.
Let's say Metallica is becoming a less well-rounded player as we speak. And we're actually back to 50-50. I didn't even realize that until just now, but it still is 40% of the tickets needed to call it a victory here.
Yeah, he's still quite a big point advantage, so even if Metallic can't make another big breakthrough, at least he can hold. And Robert, as we can see, he has the infantry. He's got the infantry spam going, rifles bloody everywhere, and it just seems like Metallic can't get into a good position to use his vehicles effectively.
Oh, I do want to make a quick call out. There's a 17-pounder to the north, but is dreadfully out of position. Where's you trying to put it? Okay, that's a very strange spot. I think it's safe to say, you said before, that Pack 40 is not really Pack 40 territory in the north. Also, probably not 17-pounder territory either. Wouldn't you agree?
Exactly. It's even less 17-pounder territory. And holy crap, Spitfire died to the Rebellions.
Yes, sir. Yep. I was going to say, you know what? Flak eventually... It's like a bus. You don't know when it's going to come, but it's going to come sooner or later.
Yeah. And then it just hits you.
Exactly. Especially if it's driven by Ray Charles.
Okay, we've got Pioneers and Pioneer Furies coming in the southern middle, but they're going to be fighting Assault Pioneers, so it's really an uphill battle here.
Uphill battle? I don't know. There's 2 Gewaltladungs to 1 demo charge.
Yeah.
I'd say biggest boom, and yep, it goes over to the Pioneers.
And we've got the Flampanzer down south now. If he just, rushes it through, there we go. Going in for the touchdown.
If he rushes it through, that's going to be a death sentence. Oh, no, never mind. 17-pounder shooting to the east, okay. Never mind.
Oh, he does actually lose it to a demolition charge, but they both killed each other. They played themselves.
And a Vesp coming on in, that's a little surprising.
Oh. Yeah, still, like, very supportist heavy. No, still, like, no Tiger, no nothing. Just using a lot of these lighter tanks. And he's really is starting to have a bit of trouble, I'd say, against, these Stuarts and Churchills that are being brought out.
I have to agree with you there. What was the comment I was going to make in return, though? Would you feel that the Vesp might be a better idea a little bit further to the south?
For
me, like, I always feel like artillery should probably be placed centrally.
Good point, yeah. And I'd agree with you on that one. That doesn't seem... yeah.
I guess 2.5 kilometers of range doesn't really matter too much. Actually, I'm thinking about it right now. He reaches 2/3 of the map. From hugging the northern edge, he reaches 2/3 of the map.
All Panzer IV in middle is not too good. As he gets shot at by the Stuart, and we do have a fighter on play. There's a Messerschmitt G6, nothing too fancy.
Well, and that Churchill 4 is coming on in as well. So he's going to shoot for that half-track first. So goodbye, Flampanzer. Oh no! Manual targeting over here at the P4. And a couple of Sherman coming on in. First one of the Shermans. Yep, here comes Sherman 2 to the north.
Oh yeah, I do like seeing those Sherman 2s. It's a lovely card to get for the Scotches and Sea Phase. You get them in a pack of 5. Only 1 pack, unfortunately. But that 120 points, you make 125 points a tick. You can buy 1 per minute. It's almost like your tank division.
That's true. That seems definitely very accurate.
A bit more of a subpar tank, but whatever. Sherman's a Sherman.
That's true. And when your other main tank is a Stuart,
yep,
kind of hard to really complain about it too much.
And this is what I mean about the Churchill 4. The Sherman 2 has the same armor, a better gun, a 50 cal, and it also is a bit faster. And they're both accurate. The same price. It's just, why get Churchill 4? Okay, also you can only get Sherman 2s on C phase, but there's much better tanks to get you through B phase other than Churchill 4s. But I'm just leaving it. Yeah, we're seeing more Flammenpanzers, Jokan. I think Vitalik is he's a big fan of the Flammenwerfer.
That sounds pretty accurate. Now, I do want to make one quick question here. Would you rather go for the Stuarts all through A and B and just kind of say screw every other tank in Tilsey?
For Scotch?
Yes, sir.
For Scottish division?
Yes. Yes.
No, in B phase I usually take Crocodiles and the 1 Command Mark 7 Churchill.
Okay.
Because it's a much better choice. They're more expensive, but they have 15 armor, which makes you pretty impervious to a lot of standard Axis guns at max range, and it's just a better choice. It's just a better choice all over, in terms of just having that extra armor makes a huge difference. Is what I'm trying to just get at.
That's fair to say. Now, one thing I'm always a little bit confused by is we're also going to see an AOP 203 Universal Carrier coming on in, and you know what? I think that thing should be in a tank. Come on. The bigger the vehicle, the bigger the caliber from the off-map. Come on.
Exactly. I mean, if you got a King Tiger off-map, it'd have to be like...
oh, the railway guns.
I'd say the Carl Gustav, but I've already got, yeah. It'd have to be like 2 Carl Gustavs.
V1s. Or V2s.
V2. Yeah, there we go. No, that would be an off-map call-in.
Exactly.
No, that would be... You wouldn't even hear it. Just like smack down and kaboom.
Well...
yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, even I leads again.
So big booms happening to the north. My question is, oh, there goes Pack 40. Does the Flampanzer get out in time? He is going to get just barely outside of that big boom section.
Well, I think his Flampanzers can really make a bit of a breakthrough here. 17 pounders already retreating.
Was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that these are the last two Flampanzers he's got.
I'd have to say so. Unless he's got like 2 cards. I don't know.
But he's lost. That's the 4th one going down. The last one, the 5th one, here's in the center part of the field.
Yeah.
And somehow, frustratingly, he's allowed this to get away from him.
Yeah. I think Herr Robert is kind of like a tide that's slowly eroding at Metallic's front line. Especially just look at the amount of infantry on map. Yeah, Metallic has compared to the Scots. Of course, Scots infantry aren't as good, equipment rise, yada yada, but it's just a numbers game. And Herr Robert, he just has the numbers of all these flipping rifles.
Well, I mean, also, too, I feel like he's starting to get himself bogged down in the let's take the town offensive. You know what? Those guys, they only have a few hundred meters range. Screw them. Move someplace else.
Yeah, yeah. But at the same time, you know, to be fair, like, as an infantry division, it is harder to, like, do a big, like, attack. Compared to a Metallic, you could just, you know, rush some half-tracks down a open exposed artery, and then just make a huge hedgeray here. But speaking of hedgeray, Metallic is starting to attack the town down south.
Well, that's what I mean. From Metallic's side of thing, forget the stinking town. Hit that road a little bit further to the north. I mean, the Stewart's out of position. He can't see anything. There's no reason in my mind to go after that town. And all you have to do, and we're seeing exactly what Herr Robert needs to do. He's going to stick more infantry in there, retard the progress even more.
Yep. And can't even get your pioneers in because there's just so many rifles. But here we go, rocket and fighter strafe. And those rocket planes, Con, are actually, they're really good now. Those rocket, well, they've always been pretty good, but they're really good because a rocket plane only has a 2-minute reload, while like a big bomber plane that drops like a 500 kilogram has like a 4-minute reload. So would you rather 2 rockets or 1 bomb?
Well, I suppose if we have the patented Rangaroo strafing tank technique, I'd definitely take the rockets. But, you know, in a particular town setting, especially with the infantry grouped as closely as this, I don't know. I would kind of feel like the HE bombs might be a better idea.
Yeah, I see where you're coming up.
Then again, I don't know. I'm very hidebound in how I use rockets versus bombs, too, so.
Are you a rocket man or bomb man?
Oh, I tell you what I am. I'm definitely a Northman. Look at that. Wow, well, we turned away down to the south. The north is completely crumbled for Herr Robert.
Yeah, it's, at the same time, you know, Metallic doesn't really have much of a force yet to really hold it. And I'm still surprised. Metallic has kept his boy to Cromwell alive the entire bloody match so far. Yeah,
I'm happy you called that out. I was definitely surprised by that myself.
Because that thing usually dies by B-phase for me. So that's pretty good micro, especially on such a close range map like this where it can, you know, it's in much more danger. So yeah, pretty good player. Good play from Metallic, keeping that thing alive.
So Sherman 2, by the way, gets hit by a Panzerfaust. The crew bails out. My question is, can this P-Grunt squad somehow make it around this forest, maybe get up here to get a shot on that Stewart? Yeah. I doubt it, but I think it'd be really amusing for me to have that happen.
I'd like to see it happen too. Same with Flampanzer, the last of its kind still alive. Maybe do another just crazy bonsai rush.
No, there's no one to the south now, so maybe there's 6 of them total.
Yeah, he must have like. I forgot how many Flampanzers you can actually get in trophy sets, but I think he just took a lot of Flampanzers in the stack. And honestly, for a map like this, I can understand. I can understand.
You're fighting through hedgerow hell. Keep going.
Yeah, just keep going, flame on, and you know, I mean, the great thing about Flampanzers is that you can shoot and move. You don't have to stop for, you know, accuracy or anything. You can't miss with a flamethrower. Like, it's literally impossible. You just can't miss with a flamethrower.
Panzer over to the south, by the way, probably going to be targeting this town. I want to see how devastating this is. It should be able to suppress everything, but there's nothing to follow up this attack.
Good point. Good point.
And he's taking fire now from this Stewart. Oh god.
Yeah, I just think Metallic is completely lost the momentum.
Oof.
It's every single area he wants to attack. It's too much stuff. Yeah. Too many rifles and tanks all bunched in together.
And AT guns.
And AT guns too. It's such a cluster you'd have to fight through. Yeah, it's tough to break through. Robert has a lovely defensive line, and as you can see with his plus run, he's gonna catch up and pretty much overtake Metallic in terms of points.
What's more, okay, wait 15 seconds and look to the north. There's a TOT barrage coming on in on the artillery park. plus that boy to Cromwell. So I'm betting at least 2 of those vehicles bite the dust.
Yeah, I suppose probably the rest, because it is an open-top vehicle, but we'd have to see as the boom comes down. Damn.
Okay. That's, 2 guys falling back. Oh, come on, don't make me a liar. 203 millimeter barrage and nothing dies? Are you kidding me? Okay.
I thought you'd be happy the German unit survived.
That's true, but you know, right now the rest of his line's crumbling.
And this is why you take mechanized artillery.
True.
Because, you know, no, you're not so squishy.
Did we miss this Challenger coming on in? Yeah, we did. There's a Challenger up to the north. He's going to start chasing and hounding down this northern set of armor, and there goes the Panzerwaffe.
Ooh, that's... Okay, I think that's really nailed in the coffin here for Metallic now.
Yeah.
There's not much I can solve that Challenger. Is that Panzer IV, yo? But the Panzer IV can't even see it. And damn.
Well, who cares if he can see it? His accuracy is just god-awful by comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not god-awful, I mean, so it's 6 and 6, but... And he's firing at freaking infantry. Confucius say, don't use cannon to kill mosquito.
No.
Meanwhile...
Oh, yeah, that's because... That's just how the bloody AI auto-targets. If the unit's falling back, it won't actually shoot it. If there's like another unit that's not falling back, it's a bit silly. But if he managed to manually click at rest, it probably would have died. But,
That's true. I get that.
Shit happens.
About a little bit of an FU, a couple of engagements happening here. You want to go to +2, maybe at 3420?
Sure.
Alrighty. So, we are seeing a couple of vehicles every now and again. The Challenger went down, getting strafed to death.
Oh, yeah. Damn. And that Panzer IV is actually in a pretty good position now to cut off any reinforcements until that 17-pounder moves into position and just blows it a new one.
Yeah, and that will happen right now.
Yeah. And yeah, just middle of the map, Metallic just does not have much. Just...
It is amusing as I'll get out, though. We have one Lopigren behind enemy lines, we have the Verbovent, and everything with like a 300-meter range of that is all suppressed or pinned down.
Yeah. It's a bloody fight up north. I mean, just look at that road area where it's just been panzer-wrapped multiple times.
Well, it ain't much better down south. You want to look down south, it's getting even more vicious.
Oof.
There's a Sherman 2 down there supporting fire, and that's more than enough to keep the Scotch in this town.
Mm-hmm. Just so much self-hit the Scotch have. Can't really push through. Got some smoke being dropped on the German forces up north.
You know, the frustrating thing for me is that every single time you see Herr Robert bringing in infantry, he's got 2 squads here, and 2 squads here, and 2 squads here. It's like freaking lemmings, man.
I know, it's the thing about Scots. You can just get, like, it's not uncommon. It's pretty much mandatory in the Scots deck that you have, like, 40 plus infantry in total. And the problem is, Metallic just couldn't use his half-tracks, which really negate, the rifles very easily in the later stages of the map, because Robert just managed to get such a good amount of tanks, and bloody Metallic couldn't knock out all the tanks, and they were really just the defensive mainstay for Robert. Got in the infantry, managed to, set up defensive positions and slowly get that plus run.
Exactly. I mean, nobody cares. I mean, what is it? 1 man dies is a tragedy. 1 million men die is a statistic.
All right, yeah, Stalin.
Oh, I mean, we're definitely standing with the Scots today.
I know. Yeah.
But the KD, I was going to say, it wasn't really that much different. You were saying early on, though, please, by all means.
But now looking at the history, pretty back and forth early on. And B phase, a lot of Scots dying B phase from that 12 to 14-minute mark. And then it's pretty just back and forth after that. Towards the end, the Germans lose some pretty big units, but that's a pretty solid match. I mean, back and forth, Trove doing really good early on, and then Scots managing to kick it back. I mean, both sides played it pretty well.
Seems fair to say. Now, Flampanzer's doing alright, by the way, in the meantime. There was one 17-pounder who got like 5 vehicle kills and an infantry kill, I want to say. Yep.
Damn.
But outside of that, I mean, solid game actually by both players, I would say. I think Metallic just kind of lost himself as he went further and further into the match.
Yep, he just just couldn't contain the amount of vehicles that Robert was bringing up, and I think he maybe should have got some Panzer IVs earlier on to help deal with the vehicles. You wouldn't even need a Tiger, just Panzer IVs on that map. Works fine.
Seems fair. Alright, that'll probably about do it for us today, wouldn't you say?
Yep, I'm good.
Sounds good. Alright, folks, be sure to join in next time when we have all different players playing. I don't really remember who we have off the top of our head. I'm not sure Rang does either. But
I don't either.
okay, that's good. Phew. But for right now, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rang Maru, take it easy.